Welcome to the Resource Family Approval Orientation, presented today by Fresno County Department of Social Services. Today's orientation will cover the following: an overview of the child welfare system, resource family and expectations, and resource family approval process. The County of Fresno is a non-discriminatory agency. Any adult shall be permitted to apply for resource family approval, regardless of age, sex, race, religion, color, political affiliation, national origin, disability, marital status, gender identity, gender expression, actual or perceived sexual orientation, medical condition, genetic information, citizenship, primary language, immigration status, or ancestry. About child welfare. Child welfare is a child protection agency. Our main priority is to provide a safe environment for the children in dependent care. Our second priority is to reunify the children with their parents, guardians, or to find an alternative placement that will provide permanency and stability in the best interest of the children. How children enter foster care. A social worker from our Emergency Response Division will respond to the home under these circumstances, which include conditions of California Welfare and Institution 300 codes: physical abuse, general neglect, prenatal drug exposure, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, severe physical abuse, caretaker absence, incapacitated. When children are removed from the home, the primary goal of child welfare services is to reunify children with their family as quickly as possible. When children do not return home, we are looking for families that meet our children's needs. Children awaiting placement are currently residing in resource family homes, specialized health care homes, short-term residential therapeutic program, or institutions. Children awaiting placement are of all ethnicities, ages, and sometimes part of a sibling group, both in California and throughout the country. A majority of the waiting children have prenatal or environmental drug and or alcohol exposure. Most have been exposed to abuse and or neglect. Most have experienced separation or loss. Many may have mild to severe developmental, physiological, psychological, and or behavior issues. Foster care. The term foster care is a broad term used to describe care provided for children who have been removed from their home by court order. They vary in age from newborn to 21 years of age. Foster care may also include children from juvenile probation. Resource Family Approval, RFA, is a state-mandated shift in foster care programming that began in Fresno County on January 1st, 2017. Unified and streamlined merging of relative and non-relative extended family members, foster parent, and adoption approval processes. Permanency assessment means all homes are approved for guardianship or adoption. Placement approved for probation youth. The Department of Social Services works conjointly with juvenile probation to ready homes for placement of children of youth receiving probation services. There are a few routes that may lead a youth to the placement unit of the probation department. The most frequent route is when a youth comes into the jurisdiction of the delinquency court when arrested for a law violation while already under the jurisdiction of dependency court. The other route is when a non-foster youth is arrested and the court finds it inappropriate or unsafe for the youth to return home if the youth victimized someone in the home, either sexually or violently. Home environment assessment. A health and safety assessment of the buildings and grounds will take place to assure the home meets the requirements as set forth in the California of Social Services Resource Family Approval Written Directives and provides a suitable environment for children in the foster care system. A resource family must provide a clean, safe, and healthy home and yard environment. Placement is assessed and based upon two primary factors: space and safety for the children. This includes but is not limited to the consideration of the total number of children in the home: adoptive, biological, dependents, guardianship, and or children of a minor parent residing in the home. Capacity determination is considered by the approval agency. Home Health and Safety Assessment. The Resource Family Approval Social Worker, RFA social worker, will assess all areas inside and outside of the residence, including but not limited to the following: all rooms of the residence, bedrooms, bathrooms, living rooms, garage, booster car seats for each child, location of medications and toxics and first aid kit supplies, carbon monoxide detector and smoke detector, water temperature, Fresno County designated operating range 105 to 120 degrees. Dispose of waste in a manner that will not permit the transmission of communicable disease or odors, create a nuisance, or provided a breeding place or food source for insects or rodents. Fireplaces, open-faced heaters, and wood stoves maintained. Weapons, ammunition, and fire pins stored separately. Pets, prudent parenting. Front yard, backyard, sheds, or any attached building on the owner or renter's premises will be inspected, so have key available if usually locked. Pools, spas, bodies of water, fencing, covers, alarms per state of California compliance. Background check assessment. An RFA family will be required to have all adults residing in or frequenting the home regularly submit fingerprints via live scan. This process is at no cost to you. A review of the applicant's state and federal criminal history, California Department of Justice, FBI, local police, and sheriff records. A review of substantiated allegations in the Child Abuse Central Index. Megan's Law Registered Sex Offender Check. Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV. Prior licensing history contained in the Administrative Action Records System and Licensing Information System. Criminal records exemption if a criminal or legal history is discovered and is exemptable. A criminal record exemption will be required. Information of prospective caregivers is confidential and safeguarded. Family assessment. Purpose: to assess your ability and readiness to meet the basic needs to provide a safe, stable, nurturing, and permanent home environment for children in out-of-home care. A minimum of 2 face-to-face interviews for applicants will be completed. Interviews. Everyone in the home, all adults and children, and adult children outside the home will be interviewed. RFA assessment process. Written Directives version 7, Article 6, page 37. Areas covered. The written report. Written Directives version 7, section 6-07, page 54. Dependency Investigation Unit and Complaints. Resource parents can be investigated due to the following. If there's an allegation of abuse, physical or emotional, or neglect, mental, physical, supervision, medical, which can originate from the public, mandated reporters, family members, the children themselves. This would cause a dependency investigation. Investigations of abuse or neglect are equivalent to the same investigations that occur to children who are not in foster care. A complaint will be written due to specific violations of the written directives on approved resource parents. Complaints are separate from investigations of abuse or neglect. Steps to approval. Step 1. Call to schedule an appointment for LiveScan and to submit the resource family application. Department of Social Services LiveScan office number 559-600-2402. Emergency rapid placement. LiveScan needs to be completed within 5 days of placement of the dependent minor. A resource family approval rapid worker should have already been in contact with you in regards to this. Step 2. Complete and submit the resource family application O1A to begin the RFA process. You will be assigned an RFA number at this time. Step 3. Expect to complete additional paperwork as the department guides you through the process. Time frame: 90 days for emergency placements. General application depends on applicant compliance. The exemption time frame increases. This is the resource family application that will be provided. Application confidential. Children's names if a child has been identified and is currently placed in the home or may not be placed in the home as of yet. Criminal record statement. This is the criminal record statement to be completed by each applicant in the home and any other adults that will be associated to the home or be providing child care or frequent contact with the home. Health questionnaire. This health questionnaire will be completed by the primary and secondary applicants. Review application and additional documentation. Paperwork family needs to provide to the department. Current car insurance and current valid registration should be for vehicle that is to be used by applicants to transport dependent minors or non-minor dependents, including substitute care providers that will be transporting the dependent minors. 2. Rental or lease agreement or deed or mortgage payment with the applicant's name listed in the document or signed documentation from the owner of the residence. 3. Income verification. 2 most recent check stubs or W-2 will suffice for applicants or a grant letter with applicant's name. 4. Health questionnaire for every applicant in the home. 5. Pediatric CPR and first aid for applicants and substitute care providers. The Department of Social Services will provide you with further instructions as you go through the process. Pre-approval training. Pre-placement training for each applicant. Your Resource Family Approval Social Worker will provide you with the required training information link. Infant, child, adult CPR first aid online every 2 years. Relevant specialized training. Safe sleep, abusive head trauma if caring for infants under 4 years of age. Training link information to be provided. Annual training, 8 hours per year. Ongoing training and support offered through VMS Counseling Services. 8 hours of annual training per applicant. Support groups weekly. There is a nurture group for parents and children under 2, once per month in English and once per month in Spanish. Support groups for individuals who have children who have special needs, are kin placements, or those who have adolescent and teens. Training hours must be approved by Resource Family Approval or Resource Family Approval staff. Coffee connections in English and Spanish once a month. The website for these training hours, www.fresnoresourcefamilies.org. QPI website, www.qpicalifornia.org. Benefits. Fresno County does not pay resource parents to care for children, but we do reimburse them. Reimbursement money is to be used for the child's room and board, clothing, toys, educational supplies, personal hygiene items, care, and supervision. However, applicant can be reimbursed for some mileage expenses. The children are eligible for Head Start, free meals at school, WIC, and Medi-Cal. Adoption Assistance Program, KinGap, approved relative care provider. Fresno County Placement Advocacy and Support. Please contact your Resource Family Approval Social Worker for any questions or assistance. Important key phone numbers. Department of Social Services LiveScan office number 559-600-2402. Fresno County Resource Family Approval Reception 559-600-6400. Department of Social Services CPS Hotline, Careline 559-600-8320. State Foster Care Ombudsman 1-877-846-1602. VMS Counseling Services for annual required training hours 559-573-4194. Fresno City College Foster Kinship Care Education Program, Coordinator Natalie Chavez, 559-489-2230. You may reach her at email natalie.chavez@fresnocitycollege.edu.